There we go. So, hello there. Shavua Tov. Well, actually, it's the second day. But anyway, but it's still the beginning, in some sense, of the week, right? 2 days in the beginning. Yep. So Shavua Tov would probably not be a bad, but usually you would say it in. But in regards to the weekend, people usually also say it like 2 days at the last part or something like that. So, but anyway, and of course one of the days is actually the wrong day of saying it. So that's how it is. But anyway, I was thinking, I don't know, I'm not sure in regards of my mind is like, yeah, I've made some food in regards of the sheep hearts and all that. Pretty tasty actually, pretty good. Tasted a little of sheep. It wasn't as bad as if you don't like the taste of sheep or wool. It wasn't as bad as the kidneys. And again, the liver pretty much doesn't taste as sheep at all. In some sense, it tastes like calf liver. But anyway, I used wine. Let's see if I can find it. I used some wine to, I don't drink alcohol and all that, but, in regards of cooking, it said, you could use. I have also used in regards to the lamb at the Passover, I used some, but I didn't drink any, in regards of cooking, it got to the bottom and I nearly gave it, I should have put some water in it or something like that. It was, very low, so I didn't drink any of it afterwards. Of course, the alcohol should have disappeared. And the same thing in regards of this one, I cooked it for 1 hour and a half or something like that, and then I thought, well, they say you should, but that's only if some are talking about that you need to cook it in a long time in regards of because of the stiffness of the meat, and some it's a little chewy, it's a little gummy, and some people apparently don't like that because it doesn't like meat, but I like actually the chewy thing. I think it's kind of nice. Chewy, nom, 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 But anyway, so now this time in regards to the hearts, I got this wine and I just put it all in and all that, and I just got terrible in some sense headache of the wine, and I'm thinking maybe it's not the alcohol because I didn't get drunk or anything. I didn't get affected in regards of an alcohol buzz or anything at all. But I still have, my head still hurts of drinking some of the fluid from it, which also was, I put other things in it. Yeah, I put this in it, and I put, what do you call the other thing? Let's see, see if I can find the name of it. Cream, some milk cream in it as well, and a lot of spices, a lot of garlics and all that. But I was thinking maybe this was actually the sinner in some sense of getting headache, and I tried to find out what is actually in it and all that, but contains sulfites. I'm not sure what foods, but I remember something in regards of actually getting headache from wine, not in regards to the alcohol, but I don't remember what it was. It's so long time since I actually bought wine and all that. So, but anyway, so I was looking into in regards of some food as well. Like they have this. Let's see. They have this. I have a Jew actually writing me back here. Let's see what he says. It's not as far as. Okay, he didn't get offended by what I wrote. That's at least nice. A lot of Jews tends to get offended pretty quickly by what I write. Anyway, your way would be Dakaya, but that is not a name as far as I know. My break is over to work. Have a good day. Yom Tov. Yom Tov. And Yom Tov. Eli. He has a good name, a good Hebrew name, Eliezer, which means, what was it meaning? My God is my help, or my God is my helper. So, but anyway, I don't think he got the thing in regards to the name of God again. Maybe not all Jews know it and all that. So, but I pretty much wrote to him, without actually using the name or the title or anything. But I don't think he actually got it. But anyway, that's okay. But he talks about not a name as far as I know, and that's great because it's a unique name in regards of Darkiyahu. I've been looking into. I've got another Jew from Tel Aviv that I've been talking to, and then another Jew from Israel that I met first time I was in Israel, and has helped me correct my mistake in regards of Darkiyahu, which I thought was Eliyahu, right? Eliyahu means my God is Jehovah, and I was like, okay, so Eliyahu means my God is Jehovah. So El is God, right? And Eli, I think, must be then. So I thought, oh well, we have Derek is way, and I was like, okay, so Derechiyahu would be my way is Jehovah. But apparently that's not totally good grammar, apparently. So apparently it's Darkiyahu, and I actually looked into the Bible, and it, many of the, I think there's like 2 or 3 times where Derek is used as Darki, and Darki, which says in at least 2 of the translations, I think, my way. So my way. So Darki is my way. Yahu we know is Jehovah. So Darki, my way, Jehovah, or my way is Jehovah. In a short form, So that's and I got confirmation from the guy in Tel Aviv. He pretty much wrote what I wanted it to mean, so that's good. But what was it? Yeah, he of course used God as in the title. Of course. I'm not sure if it's of course, but many of the Jews don't say the name of God and all that, and don't write it and so forth. So he used the title instead of the name. So that's fine with me. I know what he know what he means. So, but anyway, I'm doing some research in regards from Cockwriter again, and doing some research in the Nazarenes, and I think my mind needs a break. There's just so much overwhelming information that we have just been deceived and led astray from. And in regards of practicing some Hebrew, some Greek, I actually found a program also for Aramaic, but sadly my video got lost. I had made a video on the mobile and all that, but apparently it corrupted the video afterwards. So apparently it's not always working good. So that's great. Anyway, so I was on this website from Cockwriter, COG Writer, Church of God. And they have so much good stuff. Now I'm not saying that they still use Paul and all that, but at least they are, I think, absolutely on the way that I want to go. They have something in regards to the 10 tribes as well, doctrine that I'm not. I don't think that's a doctrine. I have had a book on it, and something I found in the book, and I tested it because I knew it was something in regards to the Danish horns and all that, and I knew I could find out in regards to that information. Of course, today we have the internet, so it's very easy to actually test these things. And he's like, in the book, he was right. He was like, it's surety of surety that that the Danes and we have these horns, and I think he actually took just only one horn, and there was Hebrew writings on it and so forth. I was like, okay, I can actually test that, and I tested that, and no, that doesn't look. I just took it out from. Of course, at that time when he wrote the book, it may not have been so easily tested, and you may not have lived in Denmark, so you may not have access to the information in regards of how the horn was actually looking and all that. But now we have a copy from Russia, and we have images of the horns and so on. Anyway, in regards of what things that was on it, and anyway, pick, and of course we don't have the originals because someone thought they were apparently made them into. It would have been nice with the originals, because now one of course could make the theory or the response back, well, we don't really have the original, so the copies that we have and so forth. But one of them was made a copy for Russia, and I'm not sure if it actually returned, but they have a copy that one of the kings apparently had made from one of these. The question is, of course, would it be before the originals got destroyed? And I think it was before the originals got destroyed. So anyway, I don't want to go into all these things. So anyway, the website, they are keeping the Sabbath. They have a lot of truth for sure. This COG writer, pig and beef blood used in food supply, and then talk about the meat glue. First pink slime, now meat glue. Apparently meat glue also used from pigs, apparently. Apparently a blood-based addictive developed in the Netherlands as part of the processed food supply. First pink slime, now meat glue. Okay. So they have something in regards of apparently, of course, if this is actually from the blood and all that, we're not allowed to eat blood according to the Bible and all that. So I was just looking into a little of that. And then I remembered in regards of the wine that also, when I was at a vacation many years ago in Gran Canaria or something, Gran Canaria, in Spain, I think, the islands of Spain and all that. And I remember being on this trip with my grandmother, and I have to ask her in regards to this, because she was with, she may remember something of the information that we were told. But as I remember, these animals that we got this small plastic bag, and this small plastic bag, there was a lot of animals, small insects in it. We call it insects today. Small, may actually be small beetles, but at least some small, or what was it called? Small, something lice maybe? Anyway, maybe it was lice. In any case, lice, beetles, insects, whatever, these small things at least. And the thing is, if you actually killed them, they were filled with this red thing, And as I understood it from that trip, if I remember correctly, she told that actually in regards to red wine, that they actually used the color from these insects to actually color the red wine, at least sometimes. Now, of course, the red wine also gets its colors from the grapes, but it seems like that they are also using it sometimes in red wine. And I'm like, we're not allowed to, that's unclean food and all that. So what they do with these insects, as I understand, I read a little about it. And what they do with these insects is apparently, destroy them. And apparently, they have some powder also of them, where they apparently take the water out of it and have this powder, which they apparently can use as a coloring in food. But if that is actually an unclean animal, the only insects that we are allowed to eat is those that can jump and fly. Those that have the leg above the body and can jump or fly. Those. And actually, when I was in Israel, I found this huge. I think it was actually bigger than this. I found this huge. What do you call it? What is it called? In English, but those that can jump and fly and all that, and I got it, I collected it and all that. I then found out that I didn't eat it. I set it down again. After I had taken it, but apparently one of the reasons that I could actually take it with my hands, I was pretty quick to do it. So who knows? But usually they used to be very good to jump. You really need to be quick and all that to actually get them and so forth. But it's possible. It's possible to get also some of the small ones. Your children when you're going around as a child and trying to collect those. If you're quick enough, you will catch them. And But again, I'm not sure which one you're actually able to eat and which you're not able to eat in regards if is there any one of those that are poisonous or anything. But anyway, it's clean animals. But I got this huge one, and apparently one of the reasons that I could actually collect it was actually it was fixing eggs or something like that into the ground. So when I set it down again, it began to fix it back behind down in the earth again and lay the eggs again and all that. So because I was thinking, when I set it down, I would expect it to just fly away or jump away very quickly, but it just so it was actually so that was the reason. But anyway, and that would have been a really good meat. What do you call it? Eating a really good eating, I think, in some sense. If it was green, I actually have pictures of it on I think from my first trip. Just a little fire and just roast it a little on the fire, and that would probably be a good eating, But anyway, I haven't tried such things. Crickets, is it called crickets or something like that? I think crickets or something like that. Anyway, so the crickets are actually clean food according to the Bible, and but I haven't really tried much. But I wouldn't have that. They usually eat green stuff and all that. So yeah, it's where the other insects are less, some of the insects just smell so bad, and those are unclean also according to the Bible. So anyway, like beetles, some beetles really can be very smelly when you have had them in a thingy. I remember from childhood when I collected beetles, and I'm not sure what the other, you collected insects and you put them in a and it's just smelled after some while. Anyway, in the thing. So anyway, I was looking into it and trying to find out in regards also of the wine, because I couldn't actually find this coloration apparently used in wine. It was used in many other food sources. It's called, let's see if I can get an image of it. Should have, here we go. Doesn't really look tasty. Uh-oh, can I actually turn the camera around? Uh-oh, I cannot turn the other camera around. I need to, you see? Uh-oh, this is very hard to do. I cannot turn the camera around. Apparently, that is a feature that apparently apparently have stuff with. But you can see those weird insects here. Doesn't really look tasty, does it? And they have a picture of where they have collected them, and apparently they use this Dactylopius cocos costa. Apparently they use it as coloring in foods and all that. Hey, it's very funny that, not funny, it's really weird that, in regards of Facebook, that you can actually turn the camera around, but a normal camera program on the mobile, it's not possible to turn the camera around. You got to be kidding me, Anyway, here's another reason to stop eating processed foods, especially anything red. Well, why is that? Well, because the cochineal, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. The cochineal dye has been around for centuries. Today, it's commonly used in frozen meat, fish, soft drinks, energy drinks, powdered drinks, alcoholic beverage, and that's probably also in regards to wine, yogurts, ice cream, candy, syrup, fillings, chewing gum. Remember the red chewing gums? Anyway, canned fruits like cherries, jams, dehydrated soups, ketchups, and more. Starbucks used cochineal dye in their strawberry, frappuccinos, and other foods for a long time before they announced back in 2012 that they would stop. Anyway, so the one reason for people being a little upset about this is in regards of vegetarians, but we are looking at it from the biblical point. The cochineal insects are native to Mexico and South America. They live on the cactus plant. Now I'm not sure if it's the same insect that they're using in regards of this place, but when I was in Gran Canaria, it seems to be I've tried to search, it seems to have, being able to actually search the same animals. But anyway, female insects eat the red cactus berries, which concentrate the color in their body, so it becomes red and all that. There are two methods used to harvest them, and here we have a picture of them. If you can see it, is it actually watchable? I need to go a little that way. Okay, the camera is there. So there you go. These are the insects, or the beetles, or the lice, or whatever, lice or something like that. Apparently, that they take and they from these cactuses, and they here's different ways of doing it, and they apparently then chop them off and smash them and make them into a powder, and the powder you can then use as a dye. And apparently I'm not sure in Denmark, but apparently it's illegal. They show where you can see if it let's see. If you are a little grossed out, be sure to look at all your food labels. Anything that has a slightly pink or red color is suspect. Now the FDA, we know is not for the man, to my research in regards of when I was in the, truth movement thing, which, seems to be, in some sense, infiltrated, sadly. Anyway, the mask and all that. It's like, okay, why would you put a Catholic mask on that actually, in regards of destroying the Protestant government at that point that rejected, anyway. Now the FDA, maybe you should read some history in regards to that. Why would you ever? And again, truth is not hiding behind a mask. So anyway, that was one of the main concerns I had when they began to use the mask. It's like, truth are not hiding behind a mask, having all these Guy Fawkes mask and all that. And again, if you know the story, it's in regards of Romanism trying to destroy the parliament of Protestantism, that have rejected Rome. So anyway, now the FDA requires that certain foods made with cochineal extract or carmine specifically declare the presence of the color additive by its respective common unusual name, cochineal extract or carmine, in the ingredient statement for the food label, and they show a food label and all that with that. But it's like they're using insect in the food. Well, according to the Bible, those animals would be unclean animals. So I was looking a little around because, of course, they had in regards of the alcohol beverages and all that. But I looked for a source that actually had directly in regards of being used in wine, because as I remember in regards of being on Gran Canaria or something like that, the Spain, the islands of Spain and all that. When you pretty much push the bag and the animal or the insect, and it would be red and all that. You could see all the red color coming out of these insects and all that. And as I remember, this tour guide told us that they were using it for red wine. That's the only thing I can actually remember in regards of what she told. But I was a little like, well, doesn't the red color actually comes from the grapes? And as I understand it, it actually comes from the skin of the grapes. And I actually found a source that says that sometimes even red grapes or blue grapes actually sometimes makes a white what do you call it, wine. That is actually the skin that actually makes the color of the wine. So you need to have the skin in the fermentation and all that, and not only the. But I'm not sure if it, if you're selling red wine and it's not red enough, maybe you would actually use some of this some of this insect color, so-called color. Anyway, so I found this website, Lexilogy Library. Okay, TTB to require labeling of cochineal extract and carmine, that was from these animals, in wine. And malt beverages. I'm not sure what malt beverages is. Malt, can't remember. It's a long time since I make malt. Or whiskey, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so apparently, according to this, they are actually using color, or at least some of them. It's a possibility that actually this insect is used in wine. Now, probably not the reason why I got a headache in regards to the wine. There may be some other things. There's some sulfites. I can't remember. I think I've read about it beforehand, but I've lost it in my head. But it talks about contains sulfites. Not sure if that could be anything. I need to look that up. Anyway, in any case, I think that's the sinner in regards of making my head hurt. So I'm not going to use red wine, I think, in cooking anymore. Of course, I use the whole bottle also, just to make make a good soup, in some sense, a soup out of it. Not soup as such, but get the meat filled up and all, filling up and the meat being down in it. Anyway, of course you could use other things. You could just have used water, or there's still the cream thing. Anyway, the U.S. Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau (TTB) has issued a final rule ordering the disclosure of the presence of rochyneal extract and carmine on the labels of any alcohol beverages containing one or both of these color additives. So apparently they're using it, and apparently they were not. That's the thing, when you're buying food and all that, they should put every single ingredients that is in the product. They shouldn't try to hide things away, and all those E numbers and all that. Just come on, there's a lot more space, for example, on this bottle to actually have a bigger way of actually being able to read it. It doesn't need to be small. You have a lot of but of course they usually just put they need to have what do you call it, fit for everything. You don't really you just need to know what is actually in the product, instead of it's apparently not that easy to actually just get some good information. And that's going back to the years ago when I tried to search out these things. Anyway, according to the TTB, the rule responds to the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) regulation that took effect on January the 5th, 2011, and requires manufacturers to label these two additives on all foods and cosmetic products due to the potential of severe allergic reaction. Oh, big surprise! Allergic reactions from something God said was unclean, Oh, yeah, it's the same thing in regards to other unclean animals like lobsters and clams and all that, where people are getting reactions or getting really sick of actually eating these things. But yeah, are we all going to continue eating them apparently? So, effective March the 16th, 2012, with a final compliance date of April the 16th, 2013, the TB rule notes that FDA does not compel labels to disclose the cochineal extract and carmine are derived from insects. Okay, so they do not compel the companies selling, to apparently say that it actually comes from insects, derived from insects native to subtropical South America and Mexico. But again, if I remember correctly, you can actually, when you actually look those insects up and search on Gran Canaria, I actually been able to find some images. Yeah, here we have. They're actually the images, the Dactylopios Cocos Costa Gran Canaria. I searched and I found the cochineal. It seems to be harvesting the cochineal, and it's called the Dactylopios Cocos Costa. Apparently, the long form of the word, or something like that. It's in. I'm not sure if it's called brackets. Parentheses. Let's have a look. There's a lot of images here. So these are the insects. Cochineal, and then we have Dactylopios cocos on prickle pear. That's the plant, I think. This is from Canary Islands, Spain, and Europe. So it seems like they are also over here. And why shouldn't they also be over here, as they are over in South America and in the warmer climate? And here you see where they apparently, dye something. Wool dyed crimson with cochineal produced by the scale insect. So they say it's an insect. Dactylopios cocusa. Can you see anything? Not sure. That's probably not the best on the screen. But anyway. So it's red. But the thing is, if we are in the Bible told to not eat any insects and so forth, maybe it's not a good thing to actually eat this dye, so-called dye from an insect. We're actually, they're putting insects in our food. It's disgusting, isn't it? They're actually putting in, and yeah, here we have some, how the insects are actually looking like. Yeah, here we go. See if we can see it. So here we have apparently the insects and how it is on the, and apparently some of them, maybe the children can fly or something like that. But anyway, that's a sketch of the insect and how it sits on the plant, and 6 legs, so that insects would probably be classified as an insect, because normally those small insects, which are called insects, have 6 feet. Like, for example, the spiders are not called insects because they have 8 feet. And then we have all those with a lot of legs, which again is not an insect, according to. But again, according to the Bible, it's just, I think it's creeping things. I'm not sure what the best translation would be for it, but something to look into. Lots, I would much rather use the definitions used from the Bible and not the definitions of, so-called clever people, that things like a chicken is a dinosaur. But yeah, you can't say anything against us in regards of, that when we say that a chicken is a dinosaur, because we make the rules, we make the, I can't remember the word anymore, I lost it, but we define it. Oh yeah, we define it. He tells the people that they can't really say anything against the thing that a chicken is a dinosaur, because we define it. Like, oh yeah, that sounds very smart. Oh, you defined it, a chicken as a dinosaur. Yeah, that just makes it true because you define it, It's just the insanity of man sometimes. It's just... Anyway, here's some of the products also. You can see a fruit product. Apparently instead of fruit, they apparently, is from Danone fruit, something boysenberry, and apparently they also use color of this insects, apparently. Have some juice, some this and that, and so forth. So, cochineal is a dye made from dried and ground female bodies of the scale insect Dactylopios coccus costa. Powdered cochineal is dark purplish red. The